Hi, chicas. Welcome to another episode of Chica We Got This. This is your host, Maria Lisa, and today I'm joined by the beautiful Maria Padron, una mujer hermosa. I'm so glad that you guys are joining me. This is a podcast for Latinas, by Latinas, and yes, by actual Latinas joining me from the Latina Follow trend on Instagram and TikTok. It's been amazing, so many changes I have seen and so many people that are joining now. It's kind of wild. I feel like it's changed a lot for everyone, and everyone's been impacted in a way that they're kind of like gracias a todas, like we feel blessed to be Latinas, and this is just kind of like a gift back, I guess. So it's been amazing. And so what I did with my podcast is kind of invite Latinas to hop on so we can talk, get to know each other, and use my platform as a place for them to put themselves out there and put their businesses out there and make connections, because you never know what could come out of this. So today we have our beautiful Maria, and I'm gonna give her a few seconds to introduce herself, tell us where you're from, what do you like to do, and a little bit about this amazing website that she sent to me that y'all need to go and purchase some beautiful stuff. Tell me, Maria, how are you doing today?
Hello, everybody. My name is Maria Padron. My family calls me Lupita. So
I love Lupitas. Lupitas are always the
we're all
nicest.
over, right? um, I am from Mexico, um, and I live in Houston, Texas. Um, I am 41 years old. I just launched my online store, and just being on TikTok, I came across your post about the Latinas follow train. And you know what? When you talked about this podcast, I think it's very interesting, and I wish you the best of luck and the best of success.
Oh,
I love
thank
it.
you.
Um,
Yay.
I don't know. I am married. I have five, six children, five boys and one girl. We're a blended family, so I have four. My husband has two. They all live with us, so it's a very interesting um, home here.
I bet. Oh, I bet it's very busy. I bet it's a lot going on all the time. That is really awesome. So tell me about your website. It's lumilaspecialty.com,
Right.
right? How do I say it right? And how would I find it on Instagram and TikTok?
Lumilaspecialty.com. The Lumila, it's a mix of Lupita and Camila. Camila is my daughter. She's the only girl. Um,
Ay, qué lindo.
and you can find me on Facebook, Lumila underscore specialty. Same thing on Instagram, Lumila underscore specialty. No, the Facebook does not have an underscore, it's just Lumila specialty.
We'll find you anyways. That name is unique. So de que lo van a encontrar ni dude.
Este,
Yes.
and yeah, I'm here because, so this is a learning experience for me, first of all. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a hard time. I'm way like 100% outside of my comfort zone. I
Okay.
I struggle with putting myself out there, right? But I tried that follow train, Latina follow train, and I was like, why not? To to put myself out there. I'm not my goal is not to be TikTok famous, or I think I'm too old for that, but it's more just to, and even my store, it's not really about the money. Of course it is important, right, to have a source of income,
Mm-hmm.
but it's I want to share my experiences. I want to share some of my knowledge. I am a beautician, I am a hairstylist, I have a cosmetology license, but for the past 13 years I have worked in an office in corporate. Um,
Okay.
I left my job beginning of December, and while I was looking for a new job opportunity, that's when I decided, you know what, why don't I start, you know, as something of my own. My husband always tried to push me to, start a business, but I that's not something that I looked forward to que yo quería. So siempre le decía que no. And finally, I was like, creo que it is time for me to think about what I want. Um, for the past 13 years, I worked porque necesitaba. I needed an income. I was a single
Mhm.
mother when, 13 years ago with 4 kids. Um, so I tenía que trabajar. No era a choice. It wasn't something, I loved my job, but it wasn't something that I chose. And now it's like, you know what, I'm at a better place. I need to think about me. I need to think about what am I teaching my children. Um, and that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. I mean, I want
Awesome.
to motivate and inspire, and I have lots of stories and about healing, about growth, and just like I've been inspired and I've been motivated by my mentors. I mean, I would love to do the same for others.
Yes, and having gone through all these experiences, you it's kind of like it can naturally come to you to want to be a mentor and to want to help others because you understood that it took a struggle and it took a piece of you and you want to kind of help others kind of stay pieced together,
Right.
so I totally understand, and I'm so happy that you took the time to be here with us, and it's very out of your comfort
Yes.
zone, and I totally get that because I'm out of my comfort zone. This is all a little, not a show that I'm putting on, but it takes
Yeah.
energy
It takes
to be
courage,
here, and
and I commend you
exactly,
for
it
that.
takes courage. I'm putting myself out there. Yes, yes, thank
So
you.
please excuse me if
So
I'm all over the place. Um, like I said,
no,
this is the first
chica.
for me. Just bear with
Girl, you're good. If you hear any of my episodes, I'm all over the place all the time because I want to tell you so many things, but the organization skills in my head are not the ones in my house. So so it's not very organized, but hopefully someone finds the value in that. But so with your business, what kind of got you to start it, like what's the one thing that clicked for you that you said, okay, this is why?
you. We went to Mexico for the holidays, and well, I had thought about opening maybe, while I find a job, maybe I can try and open my own salon. Um, my husband owns a tire shop, so I was like, okay, maybe, right next door, you already have the clientele,
Mm-hmm.
the customers, but then we decided not to, and we were over there in Mexico, and I was buying some um, botanical supplements, aceititos, and all the stuff that you buy when you go back home, you know, in the
Yes,
supermercado.
I bought a lot.
And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm always trying to find all these things. When my mom goes to Mexico, siempre le estamos encargando cosas and bring me this and bring me that. And I was like, why don't I just sell it? Because it even on I'll go to Amazon and pay whatever I need to pay, or to get them, because we need them or we want them. So why don't I just do that? And then I was like, well, maybe I can, I'm into fashion and jewelry. I'm into the beauty business too. I love makeup. I don't have any right now, but I've always um, loved makeup. I did hair for a living, so I have my cosmetology license, but I worked um, as a hairstylist for 11 years right after high school. then I went into the corporate world. Huge change. Um, and I'm like, maybe it's time for me to go back to what I like, my passion, which is the beauty business. It's my passion. In the beginning, I wanted to be an artistic director when I was doing hair for the company
Oh, I
that I was
love that.
working. It didn't work out right. Life tenía otros, Dios tenía otros planes, la vida tenía otros. But we're here, and so it's just me, I guess, me reflecting on my past, the last 13 years, lo que he hecho, and where do I want to go? And I just took a leap of faith and was like, okay, you know what? Just like my husband said, y si pega, pega, y si no, you try it. You know, at least you tried it. You
Exactly.
can
You don't
say,
lose
yeah, you
anything.
can say that, I tried this, I didn't like it, it didn't work. But you're not, no te estás preguntando qué hubiera sido.
Exactly, exactly. And what's the first step that you took to start this business? Like, did you have to open, like, what they say, like an LLC? Like, what was the first step? How'd you start?
I went into this Shopify.com website, and it was interesting, and it had a trial period, and one thing led to the other, and I ended up applying for my LLC. I don't know what it's, license or registration. So well, all the registrations that you have to do with when you have a business. So then I was, what, I already did this, so I have to keep going, and let's see where this goes. And I have my moments, even signing up for this podcast. I had my moments where, I'll be like, what am I doing? Oh my God, what am I doing? Like, I have a lot of those moments.
Yeah.
No es tanto que me arrepienta, it's just I second guess myself. I doubt myself. I think I'm my worst critic.
Okay. And that's something that takes time to get out of. I'm sure it takes time because, we are all we have. So if we are our worst critic, we're not trying to, we're not trying to change, because it also gets us where we want to go. Sometimes being that little rough with yourself can kind of get you where you want to go, but it can put you behind as well. So what was the one thing that kind of inspired you to do specifically what you sell on your website? And if you could tell the listeners what we can find on your website. I saw some beautiful earrings. You already know.
Like I said, I since right after high school, since I was in high school, I've been into makeup and hair. And then, right after high school, I had during high school, I got my cosmetology license. So right after high school, I went to work at a salon. So that's been my passion since always. And then, just thinking, because my first thought was to open a salon, and that wasn't going to happen. So I was like, okay, maybe not now, but later. So that's where also the specialty. So the legal name of my business is Lumila Specialty Goods and Services. So wherever this goes, maybe later I can, open a physical location. Maybe even, I'll end up opening my salon like I thought in the beginning. So anything that has to do with beauty. I love fashion jewelry. So you will find a lot of jewelry, fashion jewelry, and then I saw opportunity to sell some gold and silver jewelry as well. And of course, makeup. There's not a lot of makeup in the catalog and the website right now. I'm still working on it, so it's a work in progress. Makeup tools, some hair stuff. I'll add some hair stuff They're like shampoos. And eventually, I'm working on it. I want to also make sure that my mission is to offer quality products at an affordable price. We have all this marketing right now, all this makeup that is super expensive. Not everybody, I couldn't afford it, right? I have children. My daughter, and she's all over social media and she wants everything that she sees there, but sometimes it's just the name. No. So eventually I want to have my brand of makeup and skincare. So that's the work. That's the work that I'm doing right now. Ordering samples and testing and seeing, because I mean, I'm not doing it just to make a profit.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
I want to build my brand. I want to build a brand, and I want this to be my personal brand rather than just a business to make profit.
Awesome. And I do want to know, like, you were like a hairstylist for 11 years?
Yes.
And
So I still have, my in Texas you have to be licensed um, to work at a hair salon. So my license is, I've been keeping up with my license. I did it for 11 years, right after high school. Then after my separation with my kid's father, I needed a 9 to 5 job, spend more time with my kids. That's when I went into the corporate world, if you will. And I was there for 13 years, but I always kept up with my license, and that's always been my passion. I do my kids' hair. I love makeup. I tried at one point. I tried having like a hair studio at home, but it was too much. I couldn't keep up with it. It was too much work. Monday through Friday, having to go to work. The commute to work was an hour each way. And the kids, I had my 4 kids in school, had to get home. And then Saturdays and Sundays, it was like, okay, I'll do it during the weekends. Pero, that's the cleaning days. I was like, no. So it didn't work out. But now my kids are older. They're all teenage. Well, my oldest is 22, so you could be my daughter.
yeah.
And my youngest is 15. Mi hija es la más chica, 15 años. So I have more time. I have their support. I have my husband. I have my other 2 kids. And I'm at a better place. So I'm gonna try it again.
Yay. And if there's any, like, I know that there's hairstylists a part of this trend. So what's some advice for them, as well as something that you might have gone through that um like things to learn for just to help them kind of get through, maybe they're new into this cosmetology and hairstyling world, do you have any advice for any of those girls?
Uh, as far as like what's trending right now, maybe I'm not up to date because I haven't done it, but an advice for somebody that's starting, go for it. If it's really what you like and what you want to do, go for it. Watch other hairstylists. That's how I learned. I watched, and then from each person that I sat right next to them, and I watched, and I grabbed the best techniques, and then I made them my own. I had a mix of the other people that I learned from. And it's been a long time since I worked in a salon, but I remember, so let's say 13 years ago when I worked, it was at a mall. we had a really, really good team. And my friend, she has her own shop right now. Um, we were pretty good with, color. Like I said, I wanted to be an artistic director to do teach other stylists to do hair color. Um, but I remember we used to have like a 2-3 hour wait of people, and we were like, I mean, I loved it. I loved it. So if this is what you like to do, just keep doing it. And you're gonna have challenges like I did. I had to go another route, which todavía me gusta. Like I have learned I've learned a lot, and I've come to realize a lot in this since I left my job back in December. I have grown a lot, and I didn't realize that before. Um, Beauty is my passion, but I also enjoyed everything I did in the corporate world. Um, I was just an admin, right? Then when I left, I was a director of data management, which I loved problem solving, and I've realized that I think I enjoy the challenges, just new challenges. That's what I enjoy. So if you're starting on this in the beauty industry, go to hair shows. Don't be scared. Like try it on family members. You know, I've also learned that if you when you stay in your comfort zone, so that's why I'm here too, because this is so out of my comfort zone, but I have to do it. Throughout my hairstyling career and the corporate career, until I had no other choice but to do what I had to do, then I realized, okay, I can. Pero mientras tenía miedo, I was just stalled and nothing was happening. So no se congelen por el miedo, no se dejen intimidar por ciertos clientes. Being hairstylist tienes que lidiar con all kinds of personalities. So you have to be very flexible and listen more than trying to talk. They're there and they want, your clients want to talk, so you're there to listen. I don't know, I could keep going.
We love that. That's awesome. And I've read this marketing book where they talk about, like, if you want to put yourself out there, definitely go to shows. So yes, let's hairstylists out there, go to shows. Put yourself out there, listen to other people and their experience and watch them. Be very, very watchful and take notes. Even take notes.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I want to ask you, because you said que no te congeles por el miedo. What in the past, like what kind of kept you frozen? ¿O qué pensamientos o mentalidad o qué personas o qué cosas estaban pasando en ese momento en tu vida that kept you frozen? What kind of, the one thing that kept you right there, que no podías seguir ni para adelante ni para atrás, it just kept you right there?
You know what, the being Hispanic part, and actually in the corporate world, that was one thing. I for a long time, many years, I thought, I settled because the company that I worked for, it was mostly white males, and it's a male dominated industry. I'm in the flooring industry. And I mean, I just settled, I did not have any ninguna aspiración para otra posición más alta. I was fine with where I was, and I was fine in my office, and what I learned to do, and I was good at it, and I was fine not speaking up. Me gustaba aprender mucho siempre. That's my thing. I love to learn. I love to learn new things. I'm curious, and yo misma me, and if there's something I want to figure out and I just can't, I won't stop until I figure out. And I'm talking about, computer systems or este problema que no se lo pude resolver. I won't stop until I find a solution. Not necessarily me fixing it, but getting to the root cause of that problem. But I did it on my own. It was just me. It was me, very quietly. Nobody else knew. I just stood in my office and stayed in my office and did whatever they told me to do. I avoided as much as possible to even talk to the big bosses. Like I wanted to be invisible. Then there were changes in management, and I saw what we were doing wrong, and I was very scared to speak up. Like, they're not gonna listen to me. I'm just this Mexican lady. Why are they, And that was my thought up until maybe a couple of years ago. That's been my thought. Just this Mexican girl, I'm not at their level. So then when I was my friend, she pushed me, how to, it was very chaotic. Our product managing, our marketing department was doing not good. We needed to restructure it, and we needed more organization. And I knew exactly what needed to be done, but I was waiting for them to ask me, like, well, if they ask me, I'll do it. And then she was like, no, they're not going to. And I saw that, the president, he sent out an email, if you know somebody, for this open position. When they knew, I knew everything that needed to be done. And I went for it. I talked to him, and from there, that's where I met one of my mentors, and she saw potential, and she saw what I was able to do, and she pushed me, and that's where I started realizing, oh my God, because I had my moments where, what am I doing? Like, I think I'm way over my head. Like, what am I even doing telling them, what if it doesn't work? What if what I'm saying doesn't work? And from there, I just took off. Then we were acquired. And so that was a big change. We didn't know if we were going to have our job. And that I was very scared. That was another big change. That was the best change for me, even though I was so scared. I was so scared of losing my job because I was like, oh my God, where am I going to go work? I don't have a college degree. So, but I was good at what I did. But of course, I was not confident to go out there and look for another opportunity. I was very self-conscious, very scared of what they were going to say about me. About the interviewing part, I struggled. I do not have experience. I struggled a lot, and I'm sure you guys can tell. But that was a very good change. I kept working. I kept working and giving them my suggestions. And I said, you know what, if I'm not meant to stay, okay. And if they let me stay with the new company, we'll see what happens. Well, the VP of marketing, it was a lady. It was an Indian lady, not a white male. And she had character. Kavita McCarthy is her name. She's put her foot down and did not let all these men step all over her. And she gave me an opportunity. She saw potential. I had in the last 2 years with the company, I had three promotions. I went from just being a regular admin, a product. I was a claims merchandising and claims manager. I did whatever I needed to do, fix whatever problems needed to be fixed, and then I went into a product analyst position. And then finally, she offered me to be the director of data management for the whole company. It's a nationwide company that it has locations in 28 states of the United States. And I was doing all that. So, and she is my biggest mentor. I was so loyal and so grateful to her that even though I was scared, so scared of not making it, of like that I wasn't capable, but I was even more scared, more worried about letting her down, that I had to do it. And I did it, and it was very successful. Everything, all our projects were a success. And then, of course, well, I don't want to get off the subject, but that's a good example. Like I've been all this time, for many, I can tell you many instances, muchas veces donde yo tuve tanto miedo y pensé que estoy haciendo, not even like, what am I doing? This is way over my head. And I did it. And I did it. And I made good professional relationships, working relationships, and they know me in the industry now. They know who Maria Padron is. And I mean, it was, I don't know what else to say. It was just great. I never even imagined having a not even a manager's position, much less a director. Right?
Girl, your potential is huge. So you better see that. You better see that. It's amazing that you had a mentor and she saw the light that you shine. So that is amazing. Is there anything that like some of us can learn that your mentor taught you? Something that we can take away from your experience with her?
Yes, what can trying to think. So to just do what you feel that it's right. So I know we're gonna have a lot of ladies that work in the corporate world, and a lot of these industries are male dominated, and there's a lot of things happening in the corporate world, especially in at the executive level. She became the president of the company, and she had quite a few males VPs that were under her supervision, and they did not like it. But she stood her ground. She stood her ground. She had a vision. And then that's what I've learned from her. That's the biggest takeaway from working with her. She had a vision. She believed in it, and she shared it with me, and I believed in her vision. And I knew where she wanted to go, and I wanted to help her. And I worked a lot of overtime hours. I would work at home on the weekends, and not because I had to, because I wanted to accomplish, like I wanted to complete the projects that we had, because there was a vision. And I think anywhere, and that's something that that I've learned, and I think I need to stay true to that always. Do what's best for you, do what's right. So she's not with the company anymore. fishy things. The CEO things happened, and it was, so she from just one moment to the other, she wasn't with the company anymore. No explanation, nothing. But I kept in touch with her, and then she, I know exactly what happened, and that was another learning experience, because that's why I'm not there too. My values did not align with the owners, the company's values. I knew that what they were telling the rest of all the employees was not really what was happening. So they were not being honest, and I could not stay there and give my 100 to 100% and be loyal to somebody that I knew hadn't, did not have other people's best interest. It was only he was only worried about his interest. And I don't have anything lined up. I resigned. I resigned the best job that I've had. I've resigned it, and then here I am, trying it on my own. Well, still I'm still planning on working. And one of the VPs, like I said, I made long, good working relationships. One of the VP of sales that left the company as well, because it was just not a good working environment. And me llevó a trabajar con él. So voy a comenzar a trabajar con él en una semana. And we're starting same in the flooring industry, but we're gonna start building the US division for this flooring distributor.
Oh my gosh, so you're a trailblazer right now. And with all the changes that you've gone through, it's about to be huge for you. I'm so sorry that you had to.
And I hope it's making sense, everything I'm saying, because I was like,
yeah, no, of course. We're here. We're on the same wavelength. Te entendemos y estamos aquí contigo. That's crazy though. You had to see, is the reason that you had to let go of your position there?
Okay, so when she was gone from one day to the other, no explanation, and I was reporting to her, right? So there was nothing being said. Of course, I was communicating with her. Ella me dijo lo que estaba pasando, and not in so many details, because there are what do you call it, non-disclosure agreements in place. So, but I knew kind of what was going on, and the company was not that it was not doing good, but we had a lot of issues that our team was working on. This company is a mix of about 10 acquisitions, 10 companies. Can you imagine the product catalog from each company, all the issues from each company mixed together? It was a huge mess. That's what we were working on, cleaning it up. And in the middle of that, that's when she left. And I had a meeting. There was no direction. It was very confusing. There was no direction. I don't know, am I supposed to be working on the same thing? Are we still moving towards the same goal? What's happening? I was very I was very, very confused. I was struggling a lot to every day at work. And now Kavita wasn't there, so you had all these men trying to run the show now, and it was very challenging. And I tried to stand my ground, like this is what our strategy is, and this is what we're going to keep moving forward. But I didn't know if the CEO was supporting that strategy. And I had a meeting with him and the new president, and presented them with an agenda of everything that from what I could see, needed to be fixed, and inclusiveness with the company, within the company was one of the problems, communication. They didn't listen to me. They focused on this one girl, this Black girl that they did not like, everything that she was doing wrong. My meeting to go over my agenda ended up being about this girl that reported to me that they did not think she had the skills. And that did it for me. Like, I can't.
That is crazy. They said they took the time to point one person that reports to you. That's wild. Do you what?
And that's what did it to me. I was like, you know what? I was presenting them with solutions to the issues that we have, and they focused on this one issue. And because she was managing that part, and for some reason, and I struggled. I did not want to accept it, but it had to be raised. It had to be raised. And that's when, after I hung up, it was a virtual meeting. After we ended that meeting, I left. I sent my resignation letter. And so I don't even know what we were talking about. That's what made me resign. And it took a lot. I mean, like I said, I felt like, oh my God, I'm going somewhere, I'm getting somewhere, I'm moving up. But I had to stay true to myself. I could not, no. How could I stay working there even one more day? Couldn't.
It's not fair to our own Latinas. It's just like giving in. It's like allowing that, and giving it another day is just showing that it doesn't kind of change you. And that's something that can take a lot of energy out of you. It can really drain you. When you get back home, ya tú no puedes más. Y con todo eso niño, cómo no va a bregar? It takes a lot. So I do want to ask you, what do you do when you get home? Or what did you used to do when you would get home to kind of unload? I know it's nice to have family time, but family is still your kids, so you got to have like a watchful eye. That takes another load of energy. So what did you do to kind of take care of yourself, being such a trailblazer aquí con esta gente?
So I was very, very invested in my job, and I would come home and keep working. And you know what? I am so proud and so amazed of my children, of my family, because they knew this was a good thing for me, that good things were happening for me, and they were very supportive. So I did not come home and cook and take care of my kids. My oldest kids would help out. My husband would help out. I worked, and I would rest, just chill, watch Netflix. I loved staying in bed and watching Netflix. Actually, it was harder to decompress when I left, because I had all these things in my head that I needed to be done. So it was harder to permanently get that off my head. But I was very committed. I just wanted to keep going and see where that was going to take me. But you know what? Como los planes de Dios, I mean, nosotros no sabemos nunca lo que va a pasar. Yo pensé que I was going to retire from that company. I was going to grow, and it changed quick. The plans changed very quickly. So now, I want to go here, and they're teenagers. They're older. They're not toddlers and not little kids. So they're very self-sufficient. I have very, very good kids. I can brag. I mean, I could just keep bragging about my children. They're awesome. My oldest, and because what we've gone through. So the six, they're, like I said, we're a blended family, and all these kids have gone through a lot. So it's just, it's, I love them. I don't even know how to express, like, I don't, if I can't say, I come home and feed my kids and do this. No, on the contrary, I think they cater to me more than I do them.
Oh, that's a beautiful support system that you have. And I'm really happy that you're proud of them, because a lot of kids that we sit and wonder, is my mom proud of me at all? Like, does she see who I am, what I do, and like how well she raised me, So that's beautiful of you to really point that out about
And
them.
now that you say that's something that I, and this is gonna maybe not, I don't know, I'm not trying to change the subject, but I can tell anyone else how proud I am of my kids, but I do struggle telling them. And from the conversation, I was in your live last night, and one thing that I was just like, it dawned on me. Many of you were saying, my mom, that you have a hard relation, una relación difícil con sus mamás, and I identified with the moms, not with you guys. I think I was identified more con las mamás, because yo soy gritona y yo soy, which my kids know, I love them. Haría cualquier cosa. They see it, even though I don't say it, but that's something that I need to work on. And that's something that I'm gonna learn from this community, from you guys, from the younger generation, because yeah, I guess the things that maybe you guys are gonna help me realize, certain behaviors that I need to fix.
Yay. I'm glad that we can help you somehow. I know that like I think it's very important to say it, because especially like after I moved out of my parents' house. I moved out when I was 16. And so I miss my mom and my dad all the time, and I miss them more every day. And so, and I'm not I have half siblings, but I identify as an only child because I'm the only one between them two, and I'm the only one that was in the house. So I they were all I had, and their direct family didn't live nearby. They didn't live in Puerto Rico, so I felt very, very much alone. So not having like in my house, sadly, we didn't say the words "I love you," like "te amo." Like that is no, esa palabra, esa frase, you're not gonna hear it. And we're working on it. We're working on it. Llegamos al punto que estamos diciendo "te quiero," and that's huge for the three of us. Very big, very uncomfortable, but
yes,
it's,
I understand.
yeah, it's very, very uncomfortable. I'm just like, ¿cómo fue? And I'm just like, uy, se siente raro,
And you know
como
what?
que,
My kids forced me to do it. They forced me.
really?
Yes, if I don't say it back, they, like, I'm not very affectionate. They, like I said, they know I love them, because everything that we've gone through, I had to be very strong, right?
Mm.
And that could be maybe another podcast.
Yes.
Like I said, I have una telenovela de historias, puedo decir. Pero, so I had to be very strong. I had to be la mamá y papá, and we were going through a lot, so I had to stay very strong. That it kind of made me very. A veces mis hermanas también me dicen que tengo el corazón de piedra. I have no feelings, but it's just I have a hard time showing it. That's what it is. Pero ellos I know I have to break that cycle, because it's a generational cycle. But they help me, and I have a lot to work on todavía. Pero that I love you part, they will make me say it.
Wow, that's really good, because that means that they are very smart. They are in many ways have like done their own healing, and they're like, "Mommy, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. I know you love me, but I would like to hear it, because hearing it, and then pues como que yo me imagino, I don't want to get teary, but yo me imagino el día tristemente que mi mamá o mi papá ya no estén, and I never heard them say it. You know, I don't want that. I cannot live with myself if I never heard it. No puedo. I want to hear it all the time, but I understand it's hard for them, and it's hard for me. So I'm doing my best, you know. So, you know, we try, but as long as we're
Just keep
aware,
trying.
yeah,
Keep trying.
yeah, exactly. So now I'm closer to my mom. I'm telling her stuff that I never was, you know, used to tell her. So I'm doing my best, and she's putting in her part and having a little like 2 Christmases ago, and I still remember it because it's so like new and different. She took me and her best friend to a girls' night. We went to like a rooftop and had a little dinner. I was like, what? Like my
Going
mom
out,
does
what?
girls' night? What?
Oh, that's great. And just like I want to. So you see, this is the purpose. This is why I was so interested in what you are doing here. That's why I'm so interested in what you're doing. Just like I can learn from the young ladies, the young girls. Maybe some of us older um, women will learn. We will learn a lot. At least I know I will. Um, I did last night.
Yay. I'm so glad that you joined the live. I hope it was fun. I really am trying my best to put myself out there. It takes energy. You best believe I woke up a little tired, but it was worth it. It was worth it. I met so many good people and made great connections. So to close this episode off, I want to ask you un poquito de consejos para mujeres latinas, especialmente mujeres de tu edad. ¿Qué tú le puedes decir? What can you tell them to kind of push through, like just get through that barrier that they put on themselves, or any advice for jovencitas como yo to kind of like do the same thing? You know, you've been through a lot, and I just want to know, what can you tell our Latinas to help them?
Um, just keep doing it. Don't be scared. Like I said, I think I wasted time being scared. I could have done even, maybe I could have done more. Pero no, el hubiera no existe, right? So we just have to keep moving forward. So just don't. And there, and all over TikTok, I'm so proud. Like I see all these young girls que tienen good jobs, and they're going up the ladder, and that's awesome. And just be true to yourself. Be confident. I think be confident and get out of your comfort zone. I have experienced that. There's this saying, a woman doesn't know how strong she is until she has no other choice, or she has no other option. Something like that. I don't remember the saying, but it's like that resonates with me so much, because that's where I found myself when I had to do it. Every time, if I had somebody helping me or I was comfortable, no, you do it. Can you go tell them that? And where I didn't have to expose myself, I was very comfortable, and I kept doing that. But once, I found myself in the midst of it, in the middle of it, and I just had to do it. And then and then I would realize, oh my God, I can. Like you just have to believe in yourself. Just take that leap of faith. And I know it's hard, and like even right now, even me posting those makeup videos on TikTok, I'm just thinking every time, like, oh my God, just me estoy exponiendo, people are gonna laugh at me. But you just have to keep going, because you never know where you're gonna end up.
Yes, when I look at my videos, I honestly cringe. I'm just like, uy, pero es que tengo que hacer esto, en serio, no hay otra forma. de ponerme allá afuera sin ponerme a mí, sin coger el riesgo, pero sin riesgo no hay ningún type of reward, you gotta take that leap, you gotta do it. And if not, you're gonna stay right where you are and you better not complain about it because you didn't do anything about it. So I appreciate these tips y yo sé que muchas latinas también, and I'm so glad that you took time to separate with me and be a part of this.
Thank you for being patient with me, and thank you everybody for listening. And I hope I make any sense.
You did, and it's honestly very inspiring, and I'm glad that I've met you and we got a little bit of a different perspective about mamas, and I got to know what your experience was like in the corporate world. I'm kind of new to it myself. I started my first big girl job like 4 or 5 months ago, and I'm already feeling the heat. So it's new, and putting my boundaries down and being clear about it.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my staff is all minority girls, so I'm blessed. Awesome. But still, it's so new, corporate world can be kind of like strict and like tiene que ser así, hasta pum, pum, pum. Y yo como que, pero tranquilo. But hey, we're learning. But thank you so much, Maria, por estar aquí. I really hope that you book some time to come back. I would love to have you again.
Yes, there are many, based on your live last night, there are many topics that I would like to, and maybe like in a group, just learn from each other, learn, I don't know. And I thank you for having me. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being patient. And like I said, I wish you all the success. I wish this takes off, and I wish this, I think it's awesome. And I hope you get all the support that you need.
Thank you. If it weren't for you being here, I don't think I would really get far. It's thank you guys that I'm able to even dream about the possibility, So I appreciate you being here, and maybe you can join our I'm thinking of making an episode for girls to join mamas, an episode for mothers to talk about their experience of motherhood. Also talk about PPD, postpartum depression, and just things that a lot of mothers go through. So I would love to have you for that one. Yes, but thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. And chicas online that are listening to me, remember to check out her website, lumilaspecialty.com, and her TikTok and Instagram, Lumila_specialty. Got some beautiful earrings that I'm about to purchase. So go and get your own products and make sure to support her online. So make sure to do that and come back for the next episode so you can hear more about other Latinas and their amazing stories. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.